Hey folks, everything new under the sun. Alright, this is another Airstream restoration video. Today I finally get around to actually welding up some of the pieces. So a couple of the places I had to weld where the bumper was a little bit rusty and kind of flexing when if you'd stand on it. It wasn't falling off, but definitely flexing. I also had to weld the front chains on, which I'll have some video of in a little bit here. But in this case I have an arc welder. Line feed arc welder. Works really well. I've had this for years and years. The other thing that I did get for this project is a cordless Ryobi grinder, and this works really well. I got a nice cutting wheel for it, and I've got a bunch of angle iron, so I was able to cut it in no time flat with a nice proper cutting wheel. The correct instruments or tools always makes the job go a lot more quickly and a lot more professionally. I'm not the best welder in the world, but this seems to work. When I did get these pieces on, I was able to stand on it. So what I did, I took I have a number of bed frames that I use kind of for scrap metal. I took the cutting wheel and cut the pieces to fit. There's a couple more holes in the frame that I probably should deal with. I will spill the beans a little bit, however. I did get it inspected and it did pass, and that's an upcoming video. And they didn't really call me out on anything else related to the frame, so I guess I've got it. It is strong, and there's no safety issue there. It's just not super pretty, and I do have to finish painting this as well, so that's another piece that I didn't quite do in this video, but I'll be painting this up so it doesn't rust, etc. So yeah, all I did was I cut angle iron, hooked and ground off the paint to get a nice clean surface, and then did some welding there. One of the tips that I received in terms of welding is to go nice and slowly with the arc welder to really let the metal melt and to build up a proper weld. If you go really fast, then you get a really bubbly weld. I'm no professional by any stretch, but definitely it works. You kind of, you almost turn down the temperature a little bit and just go real nice and slow, so the metal has a real good chance to melt and really join properly and become one piece of metal effectively, since after all that's what you're trying to do. So a bunch of welding on a nice sunny day, and I was able to get what I wanted done here. The next clip coming up shows kind of the finished product of it. Again, not the best weld, kind of bumpy. Should be ground down as well. You can see the hole in the center, which maybe I should deal with at some point in time, but it's not a strength issue by any stretch. It just doesn't look super pretty. But regardless, I'll get it all painted up. Now what I'm doing on the inside is I bought a bunch of magnets because the original clips are all broken. So I got some decent magnets. I had good reviews on Amazon. I got a box of, I think, 20 of them. And honestly, they're a pain to get in there because they're all Phillips screw heads. So they're hard to drive in, and there's not a lot of space there. But it seems to work, as you can see, magnetically, and that's just kind of enough to hold them, to keep them from flapping when you're driving around with it. Some spider web there. One thing it doesn't do is absolutely lock them, but because there's a lip in there anyways, if you have Tupperware or something in there, the lip on the inside is going to keep things from pushing against the door. So that's not meant to lock the door by any stretch, just meant to keep it from banging around. Otherwise they kind of swing as you drive. So I've done about half of these. I've got another half to go. It's an interior thing, so not a high priority. You can see the Ryobi grinder on the ground there, the cutting wheel. Here are the new chains that I got off Amazon. I think they were $20. And I basically welded a link to the back plate behind the tongue, and that seems to work well. So that was the second piece of welding that I wanted to get done, and I had to get done. The existing chains, which I cut off, again using the cutting wheel, were rusty and pretty small. You know, for the weight of this camper, they were not very strong at all. So this one has nice clips that won't fall off. The other thing that I completed for the inspection was the attaching of the breakaway equipment, which is brand new this year for where I live in Canada. So I'll leave it there, guys. A little update on welding the Airstream. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.